For thousands of years, the pharaohs of ancient Egypt have been remembered as living gods, rulers of unimaginable wealth, builders of colossal pyramids, and masters of one of history's greatest civilizations. But how much of that story is actually true? Were the pyramids really built by slaves? Did the pharaohs possess unlimited power? And why did some of Egypt's greatest kings erase each other from history? Modern archaeology has uncovered a very different picture, one filled with political conspiracies, family betrayals, religious revolutions, and secrets buried beneath the desert for more than 3,000 years. This is the real story of the pharaohs, and it's far more extraordinary than the legends. When people think of ancient Egypt, they often imagine a single powerful ruler commanding an empire that never changed. The truth was very different. Egyptian civilization lasted for more than 3,000 years, longer than the Roman Empire, longer than the history of many modern nations. During that time, dozens of dynasties rose and fell. Powerful kingdoms collapsed into chaos before being rebuilt again. Some pharaohs ruled for decades and transformed Egypt forever. Others disappeared almost without leaving a trace. There was no single age of the pharaohs. Instead, there were centuries of triumph, civil war, economic collapse, foreign invasions, and remarkable recoveries. To understand the pharaohs, we first have to understand the world they ruled. Everything began more than 5,000 years ago, when the lands along the Nile were divided into dozens of small kingdoms. Each had its own ruler, traditions, and symbols of power. According to ancient Egyptian records, one king changed everything. Around 3100 BC, a ruler known as Narmer, often identified with the legendary Menes, united Upper and Lower Egypt into a single kingdom. For the first time, the white crown of the south and the red crown of the north became symbols of one ruler. This moment marked the birth of one of the world's first great states. From then on, the title of pharaoh represented far more than a king. It became the living symbol of order, unity, and divine authority across the Nile Valley. For centuries, Egyptian kings were buried in simple rectangular tombs known as mastabas. Then one ruler decided to build something the world had never seen before. His name was Djoser. Around 2670 BC, he ordered the construction of a monument unlike anything that had ever existed. Working with his brilliant architect Imhotep, Djoser transformed a traditional mastaba into the world's first pyramid, the Step Pyramid of Saqqara. It was more than a royal tomb. It became a symbol of royal power, engineering innovation, and the beginning of Egypt's greatest age of monumental construction. Without Djoser and Imhotep, the famous pyramids of Giza might never have existed. No pharaoh is more closely associated with the pyramids than Khufu. For centuries, people believed his greatest monument was built by hundreds of thousands of slaves driven by the whip. But archaeology tells a completely different story. Excavations near the Great Pyramid uncovered the remains of organized workers' villages, bakeries, breweries, medical facilities, and carefully planned housing. The men who built the pyramid were skilled laborers, craftsmen, and seasonal workers who were fed, paid, and respected for their work. Building the Great Pyramid was not simply a display of power. It was one of the largest engineering projects the ancient world had ever attempted, and it required remarkable planning, mathematics, and organization long before modern machines existed. Ancient Egypt was ruled almost entirely by men. Yet one woman achieved what seemed impossible. Her name was Hatshepsut. Instead of ruling only as a queen or regent, she declared herself pharaoh and adopted the full symbols of kingship. Official statues even showed her wearing the ceremonial false beard traditionally reserved for male rulers. Many believed her reign would fail. Instead, Hatshepsut brought Egypt nearly 2 decades of peace, prosperity, and extraordinary building projects. She expanded trade, restored magnificent temples, and strengthened the kingdom without launching major wars. But after her death, someone tried to erase her from history. Her statues were smashed, her names were carved away, and later rulers attempted to make the world forget that Egypt had ever been ruled by a woman. Today, archaeology has brought her remarkable story back to life. Around 1353 BC, one pharaoh made a decision that shocked the entire kingdom. His name was Akhenaten. For centuries, Egypt had worshipped dozens of powerful gods. But Akhenaten declared that one deity alone, the Aten, represented by the sun's radiant disk, should stand above all others. Temples dedicated to the traditional gods were closed, the influence of the powerful priesthood was reduced, and a completely new capital city, Akhenaten, was built in the desert. It was one of history's most extraordinary religious revolutions. Yet the experiment lasted only a few years. After Akhenaten's death, Egypt's old religion returned, his city was abandoned, and later rulers tried to erase his memory from history as though he had never existed. Even today, historians continue to debate whether he was a visionary reformer or one of Egypt's greatest failures. Today, Tutankhamun is the most famous pharaoh in the world. Yet during his own lifetime, he ruled for less than 10 years and accomplished relatively little compared with Egypt's greatest kings. His global fame came for an entirely different reason. In 1922, British archaeologist Howard Carter uncovered Tutankhamun's nearly untouched tomb in the Valley of the Kings. For the first time, the world saw thousands of extraordinary treasures exactly where they had been placed more than 3,000 years earlier. But the greatest discoveries came a century later. Modern CT scans and DNA analysis revealed that Tutankhamun suffered from several serious health problems and likely relied on walking sticks throughout much of his life. The golden mask made him immortal, but science revealed the fragile young man behind the legend. No Egyptian ruler left a larger mark on history than Ramses II. He ruled for more than 66 years, built enormous temples across Egypt, and filled the kingdom with colossal statues of himself. To later generations, he became the very image of the perfect pharaoh. But modern historians have uncovered another side of his story. Ramses carefully controlled how his victories were recorded. His greatest military achievement, the Battle of Kadesh, was celebrated across Egypt as a glorious triumph. Yet surviving Hittite records suggest the battle ended without a clear winner. Even so, Ramses transformed the outcome into one of history's earliest and most successful examples of royal propaganda. His monuments made him immortal, but they also remind us that history is often written by those who hold power. The pharaohs ruled Egypt for more than 3,000 years, but their greatest achievement was not simply building pyramids or conquering enemies. They created one of the longest-lasting civilizations in human history. Modern archaeology has overturned many of the old myths. The pyramids were not built by slave armies. Powerful queens could rule as pharaohs. Religious revolutions reshaped an entire kingdom. Scientific research has revealed the real faces, illnesses, and family histories of rulers once thought almost divine. The more we discover, the more human the pharaohs become. Their triumphs, ambitions, mistakes, and struggles remind us that even the most powerful rulers were people living in an extraordinary world. And after thousands of years, ancient Egypt continues to reveal new secrets hidden beneath its sands.